Let's all go live in a Christmas movie where the bakery's safe and the snow falls smoothly.
All right. Hey, welcome to our first episode of 12 Days of Christmas Sweaters, Ugly Christmas Sweaters and Tropes, where we are reviewing 12 of the new Hallmark movies this season. I'm Heather, and this is my good friend Darius, and we have been friends for more years than probably either of us wants to count.
Yeah.
We share a love of cheesy Hallmark Christmas movies, all things holidays and shenanigans, which is why we're here today. Darius, do you want to share a little bit about your Hallmark movie history and what you love about them?
Yeah, for me, it's really they all seem to bring in some sort of nostalgia. And all of us, whether we're thinking back to our own childhoods and younger years, or even if we are just looking at things beyond that and that idealistic Charles Dickens type of thing, every Hallmark movie seems to bring in a little bit of that somehow. And I think that's the biggest thing that I love about them. I'm big on Christmas nostalgia. And so year after year, as you know, I sit in front of the TV and I watch them all, every one of them.
Yeah, some of them more than once, right?
Yeah, I do. I do.
All right. Well, yeah, it's kind of like our intro song says, wouldn't we all just love to go live in a Christmas movie?
Yeah, yes.
But hey, let's just jump right in. So the first movie that we are reviewing, and again, these are all new this year, and you can catch them all over on the Hallmark Premiere Movie Channel streaming now. Was A Royal Montana Christmas,
Yes.
and I was just telling Darius before we started recording, I actually sat and took notes and counted the number of tropes in this movie, and I think
As
I
only
ended
you
my
would. As only you would.
I think I ended with like 17 in this
Wow.
one. But tropes are not a bad thing, right?
True.
Occasionally they can be annoying, but they get reused and reused because they work, right? It's a
Yeah.
formula.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
for
and
sure.
if it's not broke, don't fix it.
True.
So, what were your thoughts on A Royal Montana Christmas?
I liked it. I mean, there's no Hallmark movie that I don't like, really. These Christmas movies, I like them all. I like, whenever they bring in royalty with the commoners type thing, we all want to feel like we can relate and somehow, be friends with or have some type of romance with somebody in royalty, right? So, I mean, you can do no wrong with that. That alone, when you just read the title, you're like, yeah, I'm in. I'm in. I was. Yeah. And
Yeah,
the
and the
equestrian theme, I like that too about it.
Yeah. So love the setting, right? Like I think that
Yeah.
setting really hits on what you were talking about how these movies evoke nostalgia and just this feeling of Christmas. And it doesn't matter that you didn't actually grow up on a ranch in Montana.
Right.
When you see all these lights and the barn set up for the barn dance and all these beautiful decorations, it just brings you this like warm and cozy feeling.
For sure.
And just seeing, just all that beauty in one place. It's like this
Yeah.
idyllic setting to fall in love, right?
Yeah,
And
definitely.
so as you said, you've got the whole royalty commoner trope going on, along with a very long list of other tropes, including the meet cute, right, where she
Yeah.
rolls over the his box of Christmas ornaments and then turns around and does it again.
Again, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And then of course he turns out to be the son of the couple that owns the
The
actual
the
ranch,
eligible son, of course,
the
right?
the
The good
eligible
looking
son who,
eligible son.
right, who reluctantly just came home to help out for Christmas, but
Reluctantly.
absolutely never wants to live there again.
Right, right.
Oh gosh. So yeah, I liked it too. I enjoyed it. Um, you know, you've got roughly what 90 minutes in most of these Hallmark movies, and they have to somehow weave together something that is believable or not, because again, like we've talked about the nostalgia, it's always going to bring viewers because of the nostalgia, right?
Yeah.
But I think like with this one, um, because even in that 90 minutes, like you can weave in a lot of substance into the characters, you know?
That
And
is
so
true.
like my only criticism, I guess, of this one, sorry, Hallmark, but you know, your characters were a little shallower than usual. Because there really wasn't any substantial conversation or substantial real issues beyond the whole, oh my gosh, my baseball career got ruined like 12 years ago. And
Okay.
oh my gosh, it's so hard to be a princess. My life is so hard. Um, well, I mean, right?
Yeah, yeah. But you know that's why in this particular case, I'll let that slide because of the royal factor. It's like how common or how connectional are we really expecting this princess to be? You know,
Oh,
how
yeah.
in depth are we expecting her to go about, how she feels and think because, in true royalty, they really don't even explore that kind of thing. I have feelings. It's no, what are you supposed to do?
Yeah.
So I'm going to let it slide on this one just because in royalty, they really don't share that much of themselves. I'll let it go in this case.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I hear you. I guess I just want more of, you know, like, what is it about her that you really love? Is it because she just like jumped in and organized things? Because that's all, that's like the only side they showed of her with the him falling for her thing, you know?
Yeah.
Um, and I'm not really sure why she fell for him either. She did have a lot more depth on these her issues, right? And I think that because of things like The Crown on Netflix, like bringing us more of the story aspect of the royal family and how much, you know, with Meghan Markle and Harry, they've all been in the press. I think that
Yeah.
we feel like
Yeah,
we
for
can
sure.
relate more to like that struggle that they have. So I actually felt like she was more relatable than he was. Cause I got to tell
Okay.
you, when they were like building up and leading into this tragic thing that nobody wanted to talk about that had happened as to why they had stopped the dance, I
Yeah.
thought, oh my gosh, he had a wife that died. He had a kid that
And
died.
it
Like,
really wasn't such a big deal, right?
right, something really tragic, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, that's when I found out my baseball career was over. And I,
Yeah.
you know, not to minimize, right, like finding out your career's over is a big deal, but I don't know why we canceled the annual barn dance over it.
I agree. And then he said, and then the following Christmas, my parents were just looking after me, so they just didn't give, I totally agree with that. I
Yeah,
completely agree with that part. Yeah. Yeah.
like
And
like
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Hallmark, we can be cheesy and nostalgic and still not have
Yeah.
weak plot lines.
Yeah. Yeah, we can. We can. And I kind of wish that they had realized a little earlier on that they met as kids. That kind of came late in it where it was like, they have this little bit of a connection, and she had already stated multiple times that, she and her dad spent
Yeah,
Christmas there and, and all this kind of thing. It seems like that kind of would have worked its way in a little bit sooner than it did. So we would go, oh, okay, so this is probably why it's easier for them to connect as adults because they know that they met as children. So,
yeah, yeah. It would have definitely given them more to draw from because, you know, without that, you're left with like, okay, you guys had this moment when you were 8 years old, but you don't connection, yes, but you don't just like build a romance from figuring that out. And they
right.
really were already on that whole like he wanted to spend his life with her before they had that moment. So
Oh, he was ready. He was
yeah,
ready.
he was. But like A for effort, you know, all the like the extra stuff he did with the Christmas light display just for her, you know,
Yeah.
that's some
Yeah.
that is
I
some
even love the horse tree topper,
yes.
how they
Yeah.
hit on that a couple times. I even like that little detail there, but I thought that was really, really neat too. Yeah.
Yeah, high effort, right? Like
Yeah.
he gets all of the Hallmark movie hero points
Of
and
course.
props
Of
for
course.
that, right?
Of
All
course.
right. Well, so overall on a rating scale of 1 to 5, um, what do you give this one, Darius?
We're right there, solid in the middle. I don't know if you can see because there we go.
Oh yeah, nutcracker.
Yeah,
Oh,
my little
and
nutcracker.
that fits the
So,
Royal Montana Christmas too, doesn't it?
so we're going to stay right there, solid in the middle with a 3. It's good enough to recommend to somebody. It's not going to win any awards. So yeah.
Yeah, I also gave it 3 peppermint
Okay.
swirl pops, so I'm in
Okay.
there in the middle with a solid 3 too. It might have sounded like I was dogging it a little bit. It's just, you know, I got to balance the critical analytical stuff in there with the with the fun. So,
Yeah, definitely.
all right. So, there you go. That's our hot take on a Royal Montana Christmas from this year's Hallmark season. And we will be back tomorrow with another episode. It's just going to be 12 days, guys, of ugly sweaters and Christmas tropes with our Hallmark movie review. We'll see you later, Darius.
See you next time.
Let's all go live in a Christmas movie where the bakery sailed down the snow falls smoothly. Trade the big city rush for a hometown glow. Under mistletoe magic, love will grow.